Okay, so today we're going to take a deep dive into something pretty interesting and I think a little bit mysterious even.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking Twitch bans.
Oh, wow. Yeah, those are always
They are. They really are. And
kind of a black box a little bit,
yeah,
right? Like, what happens?
and it feels like every week there's a new one that's just like, wait, what?
You see the headline.
Yeah, and it's always a head scratcher.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So for this deep dive, we're actually going to be using a podcast script.
Okay, cool.
It's called Tritrol plus Alt plus Delete.
Mmm.
And I think one of you lovely listeners actually sent this in, so
Oh, nice.
thank you for that. But it's this fictional podcast, and they kind of dig into this idea of why streamers
Right.
vanish from Twitch.
Right? Just disappear.
Poof, they're gone,
Ah.
and we never hear from them again.
Right into the ether.
So we're going to use that to understand why these bans happen,
Okay.
right?
So what are they saying in the script?
Well, right off the bat,
Yeah.
they start joking about this idea of unwritten rules on Twitch.
Okay. Interesting.
Right, and that kind of sets up this whole thing of like, there's the official rules from Twitch,
Right.
and then there's like this whole other layer of like,
Like the unspoken things.
Yeah.
You just kind of know.
exactly, and that's where it gets really tricky.
It does make it tricky and kind of makes you wonder, how much of this is actually,
Subjective.
yeah, subjective.
Totally, and they even joke about like, maybe some bands are just personal vendettas,
Oh, from the Twitch staff themselves.
or like really bizarre things, like maybe there was like a cursed emote.
A cursed emote? What does that even mean?
I don't know, but it sounds scary.
Right.
Or like they joke about a rogue chicken nugget incident.
A rogue chicken nugget. What is going on over there?
We need to investigate.
Seriously.
But it just goes to show how weird and surprising these bands can be.
Yeah, it can be really baffling, especially when you're just a viewer and you have no idea what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, and the Trail plus Alt plus Delete folks,
Mhm.
they really tap into this feeling of frustration and confusion.
Oh, for sure. Like a streamer just vanishes and there's no explanation. And
Yeah, you're left wondering,
exactly.
did they do something terrible or was it just like a weird fluke?
Right. Did they say pineapple pizza 3 times or whatever?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where I think this whole idea of unwritten rules becomes super important.
Okay, so let's get into that.
Yeah, let's unpack that a little.
Because the crittles plus alt plus delete hosts, they really nail it when they say that the official community guidelines,
Right.
they're only part of the story.
Oh, totally. It's like the tip of the iceberg.
Right. They even bring up this phrase,
Oh.
conduct unbecoming.
Ooh, that sounds...
Which sounds so vague and like open-ended, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
broad. What does that even mean?
Right. It's like a catch-all for anything that Twitch just decides is like
Yeah,
not cool.
not vibing with the community.
Exactly.
Yeah. So they have the specific rules, but then they also have this like overarching, standard, and that's where the subjectivity comes in.
Yeah, because what's unbecoming to one person might be perfectly fine to someone else.
Exactly. And it's interesting because in the podcast, they actually talk about a streamer
Okay.
who got banned for roasting moderators.
Oh.
And like, you think about it,
Yeah.
it's not like there's a rule that says don't make fun of the mods.
Right.
But it definitely feels like something that's like frowned upon.
Yeah, you want to bite the hand that feeds you, so to speak.
Right. Like, don't poke the mods should be like rule number one.
Written rule number 1, for
Yeah.
sure.
So what other kinds of these unwritten rules do you think might be out there?
Well, they mentioned a few other examples in the Ctrl plus Alt plus Delete thing, like inappropriate IRL streams.
Oh, yeah, those can get tricky.
Especially, right? Because it's like anything goes. You're out in the world. Who knows what's going to happen?
And then there's the whole borderline humor thing.
Oh, yeah, that's a tough one.
Because what's funny to one person
Totally.
could be super offensive to someone else.
Right. It's all subjective.
It is. And they even mentioned Twitch's AI.
Oh, so like they're not even always human eyeballs on this.
It sounds like maybe not, like maybe the AI is also looking for stuff that's...
Flagging things.
Yeah.
Potentially problematic.
And it's making decisions.
All right. And that's kind of scary in a way because
It is.
it's like who programmed this AI? What are its biases?
Right. Like, what does it think is unbecoming?
Exactly. And
Yeah.
are they going to tell us no? Probably not.
Probably not, which is kind of frustrating.
Oh, definitely frustrating. You're at the mercy of the algorithm.
So let's get into some of those specific examples they bring up.
Okay, yeah, let's dive in.
Because it's not just this vague conduct unbecoming. They do give us some concrete stuff.
All right, let's hear it.
So inappropriate IRL streams.
Okay, I can see how that one would be a big one.
Yeah, you can just imagine how easily things could go wrong.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You're out in the real world with a camera. Anything could happen.
Exactly.
And you're streaming it live, so you can't edit it out.
Nope. What's done is done. And then there's the borderline humor, which we were talking about.
Oh, man, that's a tightrope walk for sure.
Because what's funny to one person could be deeply offensive to someone else.
Absolutely. And Twitch is stuck in the middle trying to decide what's okay.
Right.
And who are they to be the arbiters of humor anyway?
Exactly.
Right? It's a tough job.
And then there's the accidental copyright strikes.
Ooh. Yeah, those are scary.
Like you're just vibing, playing a game with some music in the background, and suddenly, bam,
Yeah.
you get hit with a takedown notice.
It's a nightmare.
It is.
Especially if you're a smaller streamer trying to make a name for yourself.
Yes.
Like, that could be devastating.
And it's not always intentional either.
Sometimes it's just an honest mistake.
Yeah.
But the system doesn't care. It just sees the copyright violation. And it's
Right.
like, boom, you're out of here.
So this brings us to my favorite part.
Oh, okay. I love a good story.
The Ban of the Week segment from Critchell plus Alt plus Khalid.
Okay, what's the ban this week?
So they tell this story about a streamer.
Okay. And this streamer's cat.
A cat
Okay.
knocked over a bong, and the streamer got banned.
Wait, really? Just for that?
Apparently.
I mean, it's against the rules to show drug paraphernalia,
Yeah,
but
and
it was the cat.
I know.
That's rough.
It is.
Poor kitty probably didn't even know what it was doing.
Just trying to be helpful.
Right.
But it just goes to show that Twitch doesn't mess around.
Yeah, they're serious about those rules.
Even if it's an accident.
Even if it's Fluffy's fault.
Poor Fluffy.
So what other kind of crazy bans did they talk about?
Well, they get into some case studies.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And this is where the inconsistency thing
Okay.
really starts to stand out.
All right, lay it on me.
So they talk about Dr. Disrespect,
Yeah, the big one.
who got permanently banned back in 2020.
Right, and they never said why?
Nope.
Which is just wild to me. Like,
Oh, no.
he was one of the biggest streamers on the platform,
It's huge.
and they just kicked him off with no explanation.
It led to so many theories and rumors.
Oh, yeah. It was all anyone could talk about for weeks.
And the Control plus Alt plus Delete hosts, they even joke about one theory.
Oh, okay. Hit me.
That involves Dr. Disrespect sliding into the DMs
Oh, no.
of a Twitch exec's grandmother.
What?
That's ridiculous.
It is. But that's what happens when there's no real information, right? People start making stuff up.
Exactly.
And it makes Twitch look bad.
It does. It makes them look shady and untrustworthy.
Yeah, like they're hiding something.
Which brings us to the other end of the spectrum.
Okay.
A streamer who was reportedly banned
Okay.
for excessive breathing
Wait, what?
during a yoga stream.
Excessive breathing during yoga?
Apparently.
How is that even possible?
I don't know, but it just shows you how wildly inconsistent the enforcement can be.
Right, like what one person can get away with, another person gets banned for.
And the Control plus Alt plus Delete hosts, they make a great point.
Okay.
They say that Twitch's inconsistency is the real villain.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
It's not necessarily the rules themselves.
Right.
It's how they're applied.
It's the randomness of it all.
Right.
That's what's so frustrating.
Exactly.
So what are we supposed to do? Just hope for the best?
Well, the Control plus Alt plus Delete folks, they offer some advice
Okay, let's hear it.
in their How to Not Get Banned probably segment.
I like those odds.
So they say, don't stream your illegal Minecraft mods.
Okay. Yeah, that one's pretty straightforward.
Right, like maybe don't break the law on stream.
Good advice.
And then they say, avoid just chatting in your underwear.
Oh, okay.
Unless you're a VTuber,
Oh, of course, the VTuber exception.
because then it's art.
Naturally.
And then they have this hilarious suggestion
Okay.
to befriend Twitch's AI
Befriend the AI. Or how do we do that?
by saying pineapple pizza 3 times.
Pineapple pizza 3 times. Got it.
And of course, right after they say that there's a sound effect
Oh, no.
of a ban being initiated.
So much for befriending the AI.
It just goes to show how unpredictable the algorithm can be.
And how little control we really have over it.
Exactly.
They also have a little Q&A segment
They do?
with like listener questions.
Yeah, and even though it's fictional,
Okay.
these questions probably reflect what real streamers are wondering.
Right.
So someone asks about appealing a ban,
Oh, that's a good one.
and the hosts, they say to be polite.
Always a good idea.
And definitely don't yell at the moderators in all caps.
Yeah. That's probably not going to help your case.
Probably not.
Though it can be tempting sometimes. I get it.
And then there's this other question
Okay.
about a son who got banned for eating cereal too loudly.
What?
I know it sounds ridiculous,
That's insane.
but it kind of speaks to this fear that streamers have
Right.
that they could get banned for anything.
So the smallest, most random thing.
Exactly.
It's like walking on eggshells.
It is, and that's
Yeah.
the problem.
Yeah.
When the rules are unclear.
And inconsistently enforced.
Exactly.
It creates this atmosphere of anxiety and fear.
And it makes it hard for streamers to just relax and do their thing.
Absolutely, because you never know what's going to set off the algorithm or the mods. So basically what we're learning from this deep dive is Twitch is a bit of a wild west.
It is.
And you just got to be careful out there.
You do, and maybe say a little prayer to the AI gods.
Offer up a sacrifice of pineapple pizza.
Maybe that'll work.
It couldn't hurt.
It couldn't hurt.
But seriously, though, this whole conversation about Twitch bans, it really highlights some bigger issues.
Oh, totally.
About how online platforms are governed.
Right. Like, how do you create rules that are fair and transparent?
Especially when you have millions of users all doing different things.
Exactly. And it's not just Twitch.
Right.
This is happening on YouTube,
Facebook,
Twitter.
all of them.
And it's a tough problem to solve.
It is, because you're trying to balance
Right.
freedom of expression, protecting people from harm.
Exactly.
And it's not always clear where that line is.
It's not. And I think that's what makes this whole topic so fascinating.
Yeah, it's complex.
It is. And it's something we're going to have to keep grappling with as these online platforms become more and more central to our lives.
Absolutely, because they're not going away.
They're not. And the stakes are only getting higher.
So we need to figure out how to make these spaces work for everyone.
Right.
Creators, viewers, platforms.
Everyone.
It's a collaborative effort.
It is. And hopefully we can find a way to do it.
I hope so, too.
All right, well, that's our deep dive into Twitch bans for today.
That was a wild ride.
It was.
But thanks for breaking it down.
Of course, and a huge thank you to the listener who sent in this Curdle plus Alt plus Delete script.
Yeah, that was a great find.
It really was.
So until next time, stay safe out there on Twitch.
And don't forget to say pineapple pizza 3 times.
Not too loudly.
Just in case.
You never know.
You never